What would you do if someone gave you $1 million? I think this little thought experiment is pretty important to tell us about our priorities and our financial literacy. Let's talk about this a little bit today. All right, so welcome back, my friends. I'm John, and this is more than just a thought experiment to me. This is, I think, the way you answer it. It tells you about your financial literacy and how successful you're going to be in the future with your finances. The way this came up is that there was a Quora post, Quora, and they have a bunch of ridiculous questions on there. But what caught my eye was the way people answered this. So the premise is that you win or you are given $1 million tax-free. Truly, you have $1 million. How would you spend it? What would you do with it? And people responded with, I would give it all away, or I would buy, a big old house. And my favorite one was the one who bought this big 4x4 off-road camper and wanted to go live in national parks or something like that. It was really interesting. But I love thought experiments like this, and, well, I decided to run through it, and, well, what would I do with it? Now, I do subscribe to the, wherever the heck it is, the Dave Ramsey method of pay down your debt, invest the rest. And that's the mentality of the wealthy, to build investments that throw off cash. So eventually you're living on investments. And if you do continue to work, then you're pouring that money literally into building a legacy. So what would I do with $1 million? So you're starting with $1 million. The first thing we would do is take 10% off the top for charitable donations. We would probably set up a trust for this, something that we could invest and then funnel out cash from it every single month, every single quarter. And some of this would go to local charity, some of it would go to our church, but maybe some scholarships, something where we give something back to the community and we control it and we funnel it out, and then that trust can be transferred elsewhere. But that leaves us with $900,000. The next one would be pay off the house. Now, our house has about $200,000 left on it, so go ahead and just pay that off. And now all of a sudden, all we're paying is property taxes and homeowners insurance, right? That leaves us with about $700,000. Now, the next on the list is generally cars. Now, this is not, I'm going to go buy a Jaguar and a Bentley, okay? This is that we have 4 children between the ages of 19 and 23. 3 of them have car payments, and the 4th one needs a car. In fact, he just texted me about one. I would take about $40,000 for all of them. Eliminate those payments, eliminate that debt for the kids, give them a leg up financially, and then the 4th one, get him a car that's safe and reliable. My wife owes, I think, about $5,000 on her car. We'd pay that off. And then there is a car I want. It's going to be $30,000 or less. So probably take that. That's about $75,000 total. Take that, kind of put it into cars, gets me something to play with as well, and everybody has a safe, paid off car. That leaves us with $625,000. Now, next up is the house. We've got a few things. Our house is getting a little out of date. We've got a few things we want to do. We've got some flooring we want to replace. We've got a kitchen that needs a little bit of updating, probably counters, and that's about it. And we've got some landscaping that, well, we're just not doing a good job with it. So maybe having a professional come in to get it all straightened out. And maybe the roof is probably going to need replacing the next few years. So let's take about $35,000 and focus on those things. That's going to leave us with $590,000. And then we're basically at that point debt-free. The cars are paid off, the house is paid off, the kids have gotten their financial leg up, and we've given back to the community. But we still need to do something for ourselves. And my wife and I really haven't taken a vacation in years, like a real one. So I would take about $10,000 and put it into a hella vacation. Something like we go to Scotland for 2 weeks, or to Italy for 3 weeks, or something like that. Something where we get away and we go explore another culture and really have a heck of a time. That leaves us with $580,000. Now, what have we done there? Let's take a look at this. We've given the kids a leg up. We've secured our car situation. We've provided a fund to help the community around us, and we've secured or improved the value of our home at the same time while basically being debt-free. What else are you going to do with $580,000? I'm not going to go waste it on a Lamborghini. I'm not going to go buy a bunch of fancy clothes. I'm going to invest this money. And what's really critical here is it's that mentality of get it out there, get it invested, that really helps determine your financial literacy. From the Dave Ramsey point of view, I've paid off all my debt, I've invested the rest, and I've given back, and we're helping to build a legacy for our kids at the same time. Now, we have a financial advisor. We talk to him. He knows how we want to invest things. So it'd be very easy to transfer the money to him and be like, yo, bud, you know what to do. And that's basically what we do. As an interesting side note, go over to the bank rate calculator, and if I start with $580,000 and over just 20 years, I've got longer than that, at a basic 8% interest rate, which might be a little low, invested in the stock market over a long term, that's almost $3 million in the future. That's what we're talking about here today. So, you know what? Don't just watch this passively. I want you to let me know below, what would you do? How are your priorities different? Let me know what you would do if somebody gave you $1 million. Thanks.